If you are a business owner, you understand the headache marketing can be, right? Our team at Pioneer Podcasting makes it so easy. Podcasts increase visibility in a way that won't hurt your bottom line. Drive results for your business. Visit advertiseonpodcast.com and fill out the contact form to get started advertising on shows like ManFUzed. Let us help you get rid of that irritating marketing headache. Find out more at advertiseonpodcast.com.
Hey, what's going on? It's the ManFUzed Podcast. Happy New Year. I'm Kay Lee, your audio producer, voice artist, and host. My co-host, Ben H. So today on the ManFUzed Podcast, we're just going to cap off and talk about the end of the year, closing out 2023, opening the doors for 2024. Some of our ups, some of our downs, some of our failures, some of our successes. And I'll tell you about an awesome prank I executed on one of my colleagues, which was a great way to end 2023. Brought a smile to my face, and hopefully it'll bring one to yours. I have to mention Ben H is a real estate hustler, moving, shaking, and can handle any real estate questions or needs you might have.
We should do a Q&A. Nobody would care.
Actually, I think people would care.
Yeah?
I mean, like in the current state of the market and best practices.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why, Ben H, you really need your own real estate podcast.
I agree. You know what?
Do you realize
Yeah.
that I had and went and contacted via phone and received a call back from one of the number one producing real estate agents in the state who works with Ansley under Bonneau.
Yeah.
And I'm going after him too.
There you go.
But why aren't you going after him?
I should be.
You should be. Shayna Bradley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
Shayna.
Well,
yeah,
my wife sprays her.
That's right.
And so I got her cell phone number and I called her and I left say, hey, Christian Burt Show. And of course, she's heard the Burt Show and listened sometimes, but she knew who I was because of my wife too. And basically went through the pitch.
I love it.
And, she hadn't considered that, but and I don't know where it's going to go, but I planted the seed. I think
it's a good thing. I should. You know what else I want to do? And I was thinking about this too, is a cooking show. I want to start putting my stuff up. Cooking way too much stuff.
Yeah, I saw lambs. Who had a bone to pick with you.
Oh, yeah?
I saw that you were cutting up racks of lamb.
Yeah.
And I was looking in the video.
Yeah.
Wondering who was on the other side of eating said
lamb. You want me to cook some lamb for you?
Well, I mean, we didn't get an invite to lamb night at the Heidenreich house. I mean,
it's been nothing but family, dude, over the last couple weeks. My family was here. Jen's dad was here all last week. So it's been all family.
That's great.
If anyone wants to know, Costco has the best lamb racks.
Best price, best value.
They're awesome.
Quality's up there.
Yeah. And would love to cook some lamb racks for you guys.
Oh, we would love that. There is a request that I've had in your suggestion box for a paella night. I want paella.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I know that's a little bit of a bitch to go and gather all the ingredients for.
It's a forage for sure. But for example, those are the kinds of things that I want to start recording and doing and kind of have like a cooking account for my social media.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
But I do think focusing on the main business at hand for you first, which would be your real estate.
Yes.
And I saw your updated website. It looks fabulous.
Thanks.
LegacyPartners.com.
Legacy Partners RE.
LegacyPartnersRE.com.
Yeah, exactly.
RE for real estate.
Yeah, I'd love to do a podcast. I think it'd be really cool. And I think that it would be something that I could include in the website, in the marketing, in a lot of different things. And what I want to do with that is, I've been thinking a lot about it. It's easy to post like houses that you're selling or houses that you're looking at and stuff like that. But I also started thinking, what a cool thing it would be to go around and interview city commissioners, school board principals, like teachers, people
How about
who own
the future
restaurants.
Zoning?
All that stuff.
Real estate.
All
for
those
different
kinds
counties.
Of things. Exactly.
So you could essentially get a pulse
Right.
on what they're thinking about moving
Right.
forward, what they're approving,
Yeah.
what they're not approving.
Right.
Well, that would be extremely valuable.
It's an information service for areas. One of the things we're working on right now is neighborhoods, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have all these different neighborhoods around Atlanta. Well, what if the subsection of that was interviewing different people who are leadership in those areas of town
Yeah.
about those areas of town and the things that are happening?
Right. Totally. And think about the value that would provide the developers.
Yeah.
By hearing from the commission
Yeah.
who is either approving or denying
Yeah.
some of these big development projects that are submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
Yeah.
there'd
be
be an
good.
audience right there.
Yeah, it could be good.
And other real estate people. But not only, but then that leads the way for you to show other real estate agents how they could use a podcast to help educate, thought leadership, get all the benefits of a podcast from the
Absolutely.
marketing, and therefore you can help set people up.
It'd be amazing.
And it would be, wouldn't it? Now that we are coming on to the end of 2023, did this year go by fast for you? I want to say, you always go, oh, where did the time go? But I felt like it wasn't really that fast.
You know, it's just been really tough. It's a really tough year
Yeah,
for me.
for you.
Yeah, it's just a really difficult year.
Well, instead of focusing in on,
So
what
no,
was-
it didn't go fast.
it was actually,
for me.
it actually seems like 10 years.
Yeah, it's just been a freaking slugfest, dude.
Right.
It's just been unbelievable.
So, I thought we could recap, the things that maybe we're thankful for as we are approaching 2024.
Right.
We could list all of our hardships or hard things that we've had to press through. But then I figured we could also talk about what we have our sights on in 2024.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 2024, I think is going to be a monumental year in so many different ways. I think the world is going to go one way or the other. I think, this is an election year coming up. It's,
Get ready for the advertising.
which is just going to be, it's going to be the most volatile, I think, and just vile election season you've ever seen. So I'm hoping for a positive result there. And ultimately, in regards to family, my son is going to be turning 7 in October.
God,
So
time goes quick, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. He's going into first grade.
Go Jack.
And
Go Jack.
he'll be graduating or whatever, going from kindergarten to first grade, and so that's going to be really good. It's his second baseball season, so we're looking forward to that. And I think that for me personally, and my relationship with like my wife, I think has been growing in a positive direction. I'd like to see that continue to go. I want to stop with, like, me personally, if there's something that I want to not do more of, it's just thinking too much. Just doing more and thinking less.
Overthinking will.
Just overthinking everything. I just want to get after it. You know what I mean? I just want to completely get after it in every way possible. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm taking some time. We talked about this on previous podcasts. I'm not looking to shoot out of the cannon on January 1st necessarily. It's just a continuation of everything that's been going on.
Absolutely.
And, and there's great things going on with ManFUzed. There's great things going on with Foo Media. I'm taking my real estate company to the next level.
Yeah, you are.
Just the continuation of things, but really focusing on visualizing success, visualizing what it feels like, what it looks like, and then backing into what it is that needs to happen and executing on those things without even thinking about it.
Absolutely. As we're wrapping this year up, I have so many. My wife said it, I'm getting some validation as of late, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's funny that I've always been the way I am.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Right.
And I've worked with Bert Weiss for 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 9. I've known him now.
Yeah.
And while I've talked to him every day and whatnot, like it's just now being observed.
Right.
Like he's like telling my wife, he's like, I had no idea how much of a hustler Kay Lee is.
Right.
And my wife's like, oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't stop.
Right.
And, you know, and I guess it's being seen, and not a hustler in a bad way.
Right.
Just
getting after it.
like Cassie, and I have to say this, like the other night, paid me one of the greatest compliments that I'm not going to say I've ever been given. I don't know why, but Cassie, she's a very strong figure.
Right.
She's a very strong woman. She's a very independent woman. She's super intelligent.
Yeah.
Bert would say that her secret sauce in social media and understanding of how to guide the podcast has probably been one of the greater reasons why we've had so much success in the way we do things. And I copy some of the things that Cassie does.
Right.
And some of the, processes that the Bert Show uses, all because So the other night, I got invited to the Pioneer holiday dinner.
Right.
The day before the dinner.
Yeah.
Like, so I was, the business manager, Amy, reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to attend since we, things are kind of moving, bringing them on in a capacity of a partnership. And so I did. And there was only 5 of us there. There were a couple salespeople. There was Tuff. There was Bert. And there was Cassie. And in the middle of dinner, Cassie just was like, and hopefully this doesn't sound self-serving, but she was like, Kay Lee, I just got to tell you, your entrepreneurial spirit and capabilities are something to be admired.
Wow.
And I was like, I want to cry. I was like, thank you. You can't be like, hey, look at how much of an entrepreneur I am.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
They have to take notice from the things that you do without shoving it in their face.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the way people start to observe and be like, oh, well, there's a whole nother side to him that I didn't realize.
Right.
Or, didn't get the time to know.
Yeah.
And to me, that was it was so monumental. Just in, there's a couple ways we get fuel.
Yeah.
For the things that we pursue.
Right.
Validation from those around us.
Right.
And money. More responsibility, which hopefully a raise becomes more money and whatever. But sometimes, and as I've gotten started in radio and I was working for free and there was no money, those compliments that I received, at times that I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Because the money hadn't started coming.
Right.
Were like fuel.
Yeah.
That just forged me to just keep plowing and stay the course. And stay the course. I was listening to an Alex Hormozy interview yesterday, and he said something that I thought that just stuck out to me. And we've talked about this before. I think Harrison Ford said something about never getting off the bus.
Yeah.
And it's about staying power.
Right.
I think Alex Hormozy was talking about venture capitalists. Like if there was an area that he could only choose for the rest of his life to go after, it would putting together venture capital deals.
Right.
Unfortunately, they have a 16-month sales cycle.
Right.
But he was like, but I can wait.
Yeah.
Most people can't.
Right.
So I just wait it out.
Yeah.
And if you wait it out, most of the time, it'll come.
Right.
A lot of people can't wait it out.
That's right.
Because they need the money.
That's right.
Where, selling another product, you could sell 10 of them today.
Yeah.
But the money's going to be nowhere as great. Those moments coming, and now that there is money coming in and more signing on as January for Foo Media looks to be like a monumental month.
That's awesome.
From a chart perspective and with a sales team that we're building out. I mean, things are so exciting, and I'm so blessed. And I don't mean to talk about just business, but, for my healthy family, of course, for my ability to keep plowing through
for sure
and living another day. I mean, I can't be more thankful, because you never know when it's all going to come to a halt for any of us.
No, it's true, man. And that's awesome.
I think moving forward, I feel like, because I've been at such a full charge, and now that I have an assistant that is about to come on that is going to help with a lot of these processes, to where I can focus in on what is important. I mean, it's all important, but what is actually makes me money and makes the company money, but also gives me the balance.
Right.
Because right now I have very little balance, where I'm not missing out on anything, but 11 o'clock, I'll be on the phone if the person on the other line will have a conversation.
Right.
Which I don't know that I'll ever stop that. If it's something exciting I'm working on, and I know some people have cutoffs where they're like, I'm not going to do any business after this. But, shit needs to get done. Super thankful for our listeners who continue to listen, continue to support the ManFUzed podcast. None of these things would have happened without you and I going down this road of producing content.
That's right.
Whether it's informational, funny, sad, it might anger you. Whatever it is we do.
Right.
It's authentic.
Yes.
It's real. It's based in common sense.
That's right.
Some people don't like common sense.
Well, some people just don't have it.
Right. Logic escapes them.
Yeah. Well, some people just don't have it. You know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
like...
Is that something that can be learned? I know you say book smart, that's something can be, but a lot of people that are very book smart are not what you would call street smart.
Yeah.
And street smart, is that something that, I guess if you're exposed
I think you can learn
it, right.
Yeah. Yeah, you can learn it. It's just, if you spend your life in institutions, you're going to be intelligent as it pertains to that social environment. But
the books.
Well, just the books, the institution itself, the institution of academia, for example, or the institution of corporations, for example. And that's fine. You can completely live a great life doing those things.
And a very reclusive one. A lot of people like that don't have a ton of social skills either.
Yeah, it's not going to help you in a room full of people where everyone's from somewhere different and you don't have the overlay of the academic or the corporate or whatever environment that you're used to. Think about it. A lot of people go from, preschool to elementary school to middle school to high school to college to corporate America.
Or to get bachelor's
and
degrees.
Never stop. And that's just it. You're within an institution the entire time.
You're within a cycle.
You never leave whatever institution it is that you're supporting and is supporting you. In a large way, that's the way that our society is set up.
Is to create employees.
Right. And so entrepreneurship or just in general sales, even if you are an intrapreneur, meaning that maybe you're not the owner of the company that you're selling for, but you work within a company and you're the sales person, that's a very entrepreneurial
if you're getting paid commissions.
Act anyways. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of different forms of it. I wouldn't know what to do. I would have zero common sense, for example, in the streets of Africa. Go to a foreign country where you can't speak the language and go downtown and try to find your way around. You have zero common sense because you don't know what's going on. You don't know how to talk. You don't know the language. You don't know what the hell's going on. So a lot of it has to do with your conditioning. It's one of the great parts about the United States of America is that we can go anywhere and the laws are pretty much the same in the United States of America. So it gives us the opportunity for common sense in a way that you don't get in other places in the world.
There's a lot of great things on the horizon, and I hope there is for, our listeners out there too. Stay the course.
Well, you create your own luck.
To an extent.
In a great way, you do create your own luck. And there's another one too, which is you get in what you put out. You get out what you put in. What you put in, you get back out. So if you're not getting anything out of something.
Well, it's like when you invest in people.
Right.
When you invest in your business, when you invest in your family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how much are you investing?
Yeah.
I mean,
what kind of time are you putting toward it? You know,
what's the environment the environment that surrounds you on a day-to-day that bleeds into your family, that bleeds into your job, that bleeds into your business.
Right.
Like what you said, what you put out, or was it put? Well, I guess it could go either way, though.
It's kind of the same thing. The point is that
the vibe you put out is what you're going to get back.
Yeah.
The time you put in is going to be what you get back.
That's right. Yeah.
So it kind of like it's kind
of the time, the effort, the ideas. There's also such thing as good ideas too. You know, a lot of times good ideas are what spark great things happening, you know?
Good ideas with action.
Absolutely. An idea in and of itself is not enough. But if you pair a good idea with action, then, you know, in other words, you can be working your ass off on something that just doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to make a difference. The key is that whatever it is that you do, it has to help people. Your product or service has got to be helpful somehow. It's got to help people do something that's important to them. You need all that stuff kind of coming together as one. But that's the human race, man. It's a race, you know? It's the human race. Like it's from the beginning of your life to the end of your life and beyond. We're doing all that we can to further ourselves and further our family.
We had a Burt Show Christmas party, and I pulled some epic pranks.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. It was being held at our executive producer, the show producer, the main producer who I work very closely with on the Burt Show, Tommy Owen. Shout out to you, Tommy. He was kind enough to host the Burt Show's Christmas party this year at his home. So we met at the radio station and took a fur bus over to his house. So we all arrived pretty much at the same time. And going into that, I had already strategically planned a prank, I guess you would say. So I had gone online and ordered 4 testicle ornaments. So they were a pair of testicles that had a little Santa hat on them. Yeah. And I had gone in with the mission of decorating his house with these testicles all around. Now, Tommy's wife is a minister. So little testicles all over her house, I thought would be really funny.
Definitely.
And so we planted these things. I had like one on the tree. Yeah. And I had...
something about testicles, they're not as vile as like a cock.
Right.
But look, it's part of the same package.
I gave Santa a little...
And Kaylee, what was the highlight of your year?
Well, I don't know if it was the highlight of my year.
Okay, how about this? Do you have a confession you need to make to our studio director, Tommy, or show director, Tommy, excuse me?
What?
Because he hosted our Burt Show holiday party. He was kind enough to open up his
phone. God.
Gracious enough. I mean.
Oh, my God.
Uh-huh.
I totally forgot they were on there.
What?
And we just have a guest arrived last night.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Jackass.
Hold on, Tommy.
Wait, well, hold on. So, Katie, first of all, I have a bone to pick with her because, so I decorated without permission Tommy's Christmas tree when I was over there.
What did you hang on Tommy's Christmas tree?
A pair of testicles with a little Santa hat on it.
Is it more than one on the tree? Yes.
Well, so but as
you know the tradition where somebody has the hidden pickle on the Christmas tree, and the first person that finds it gets to open the first gift.
Well,
I got nuts on my tree.
So yes, you do. And Katie pointed them out as I was leaving to get in the fur bus. As we were all leaving, I saw Katie direct Tommy's attention to the tree.
Hey.
And Tommy me,
Sellout.
then turned and gave me a death stare as I was walking out. And I just ignored it and kept leaving.
I've totally forgotten about it. Everything's still there.
Well, how
But
about this?
thank
I'm
God-
going to plant a seed with you. There's more.
There's a lot more.
We're going to find them because thank God we're doing this segment right now because I've got my HOA meeting. The entire neighborhood's coming over Sunday.
We shouldn't have said anything. How many balls are in the house?
Well, Tommy, I was in many rooms of your house.
Chestnuts roasting.
The Burt Show.
All right, let's get Jill on.
That shit was funny.
That's
as
hilarious.
fuck, dude. Little Santa. And actually, I spread the Christmas joy around my neighborhood as well to our fellow neighbor Troy while he was out of town.
Oh, beautiful. On his front door, you said?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Oh,
dude.
my God.
That's hilarious.
How fucking great is that? That's my new calling. That's my new Hallmark
amazing.
card. Any
I
house
love
I
it.
go to is getting a set of nuts.
I love it, dude.
I mean,
That's
a little
awesome.
holiday nut. Can you
That is
imagine all the
awesome.
packages?
That's
all the
phenomenal.
UPS and FedEx drivers
great.
coming to the table. Thanks for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast. I hope you and your family had a safe and happy New Year's, and I hope this year is a banner year for you and your family and your coworkers. Join the show. Hit us up at manfused.com, 770-744-5227.
Foo Media.